Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back as we are in our second set with the killer being unknown. Sirenia is going to be the first for killer as Illusion will play survivors. I am Zero. I'm here with Siren. Siren, as a player who's not too familiar with unknown, what is the M2 ability here?
Yeah, your M2, the UVX, is really just a zoning mechanic, honestly, for unknown. Unfortunately, it's not the most volatile ranged attack in the game. It might actually be the weakest ranged attack in the game because you don't get an insta tag off of it. Same with Trickster, but you need to be very precise with your hits in order to get it. So it's like a radial attack. It's like an AoE, but the AoE you have to scan twice, and you have like a 3 second like a 3 second kind of barrier to get that tag because you get it off of you just like Ghostface is stalking you. So it's very hit or miss, honestly. Like that. See, it tagged right there, even though they weren't really in the radius, but they walked into it, so it did in fact tag them. And now
It's like it went into the aftermath of the radius and still got tagged, which
yeah. And now that they missed, you see that it immediately is off of them. So it's like a lose-lose. So if you don't get it, and right there, see, like walk right back into it as it lingered, and they get tagged again with it.
yeah, I think he's hoping to get at least this hit off with a second one. Yeah, you are so right about this hit or miss type of deal. You gotta be way better and strategic of where that goes. As a gen pops, then I mean, I could see this coming the way this is being played right now.
Yeah, so unfortunately, this killer, which is one of the killers that I play, has been deemed the harmless because they're so harmless in competitive that they usually do not get good results. I think that moniker is mainly because people are way too reliant on M2, as we're seeing right now. We're not taking advantage of the M1s that we can take, instead opting for M2s. Like right there, that's a good M2 spot right there. You can definitely do that. I think now you need to play for a tag at some point here, knowing that they're going to be on the other side of TNL. But again, just flares out, not able to get the tag, not able, and now you M1.
I don't even know what's going on anymore. That guy was way too close to be an M2. It should have been an M1. We haven't got one hook stay. We got 2 gens already done. There's a lot of bad things happening.
Yeah, this is just the problem with Unknown, unfortunately. They really don't have the best mechanics, and you do see a free tag right there. This should be the swap, by the way, because you just injured them with, or just tagged them with UVX, and you got an M1. So you know the timer's going to be low, and that's exactly what they do. That's exactly what Dub should have done in that situation. They got the M1 off, they get distance off of it. M2 is going to be off of Nikki here, so no more UVX around them. Needs the path to a tile here, so they don't make a really bad 2v1 situation on the back end.
Yeah, I don't think I mean I've seen a few unknown sets before. I haven't seen one so reliant on M2.
Yeah, I think Dub has been a little bit more reliant than I've seen on other unknown players. But I don't know if Dub frequently plays unknown or if that's just their playstyle. Again, there's many different ways to play many different killers in the game. I think the most effective for unknown and competitive is to be more M1 reliant and use your M2 as a zone. It's the same thing with Pyramid Head. Use your M2 as a zoning mechanic, place your hallucinations down, and play for 3 gens. Otherwise, it's a really tough swing as we get a really good teleport here onto NCE.
Yeah, I just wish he did that a tremendous amount sooner, as now we're finally in a very good chase as we have a down here. Hopefully he can get this second hook to just put a little bit of pressure, but if they pop one more gen, I just don't see him. I could see all survivors actually surviving this.
This is a tough sell for sure. I mean, the average states in Altruism League for Unknown is 6 stages, so if you get 6, you're doing pretty well. In other sets, it's usually like 3, so DBL, Champions of the Fog, it's like 3 to 6 stages. For that reason, we put Unknown in a little bit of a lower bracket, allowed a couple more perks for them, and restricted it on the survivor end in terms of exhaustion perks. And as a result, it raised it by 3 stages. Seeing that, we might have to put Unknown in D tier if we wanted to ever be viable for 4K, but consistently. But we have had Unknown players get 4Ks as a result of their map knowledge and their macro play. Unfortunately, one of the killers that isn't very frequently successfully played in competitive.
Yeah, yeah, no, 100% agree here. We still have our guy on hook here. I think they're gonna sacrifice for the gen. Probably a great call, to be honest.
Yeah, I think this is probably the right decision here. You play for your gen pops, you get 3 out here. The win con then moves to 5 stages, which is definitely doable with the balancing and the average result. We might have a pull here, right there. We do have teleport. We're going to wait a little bit so that we zone exactly on top of them here. We do still have this tile that we did not throw prior. So now going to play for M2 more than likely in a second here. Just going to zone, able to get the down. And that's exactly how you should play Unknown. Just wait, patient, get your zone off, and a quick down.
Yeah, that was nicely done, nicely executed. I just wish that happened sooner, because right now we're in immense pressure as there's one gen remaining, and the gens are not that close, but we do have another chase happening as we speak.
Yeah, the hallucinations will do wonders here for Dub, as they're going to be able to kind of pinball around, and we don't see our survivors even bothering with getting rid of the hallucinations. You can see one shack still. Bust, there's still one in between at 2, and then over towards 3 there's another hallucination, so they're able to just teleport around as they would like. There's nothing really over towards the 3 side, so they need to pop either 12 or shack here. Sorry.
Yeah, I can't really tell if the M2 is really put out strategically. He's missed more than he's made. Let's just say that.
Yeah, and that's not a knock, I think, against Dub. I think that's actually pretty common with unknown sets. You're going to miss probably about 60% of your shots. If you can get about 40, you're looking at a potential 6 to 9 stage game. It's just unfortunately the way the cookie crumbles with this killer.
Yeah, I did like that one he just tried to put to hit the gen. You know, like right there. That's a brilliant move. I know it's a simple move, but it's a brilliant move to say, hey, I know you might be there. Here's a hit. If I hit you, I know you were there. I'm gonna keep on attacking, or to take him off the gen entirely. So that worked out, as he does get a hit off with 2.
Yeah, and that's one of those moments where you are able to get those kinds of downs. You need to play for zones and just keep them off. This tile's still here. Paparazzi will get the UVX off, and a body block comes through. But when you're on like a window vault, essentially like Huntress or like in front of a tile, that's when you should pull up your M2 on Unknown, which is when you're able to get the most amount of tags. Unfortunately, right there, just not able to swing it, and we are going to be able to get the down here as a result of that hallucination.
Yeah, things are slowly going into Dub's way right now. It maybe depending on where they're at with the gen. Let me see if we can get this right now. Nikki's working on the gen. They're at 75% as he had to walk away from the gen with Unknown going to his location.
Yeah, pull does come through. We're going to place a hallucination right on the bus and actually going to play around this. We do still have some UVX on them. Not able to get the tag. That's what I'm talking about. That 12-second just barely getting screwed right there by the end of cooldown for Unknown. A lot of Unknown players, such as myself, have said if you up it by about 2 seconds, 3 seconds, there would be a lot more mortality rates would drop against Unknown. So definitely something to maybe see in future patches for Unknown.
Now, let me tell you, Dub is doing actually a really good job. It just went from kind of, I didn't know what was going on, to, yeah, this is a pretty solid plan now. Working these 3 gens, going around the area, not going too far, working the M2 as best he can. I think we're slowly going into his favor.
Yeah, this is looking like a potential 6-stage game at this point. They should be able to slam Gen here, as attention is taken by Claudette here. Gonna play Dumpster at 7. I think that check spot was not great from Claudette, but they shouldn't get tagged here for it. As they point, they don't take the vault. Not able to get the down there, unfortunately. And we should see
Uh,
Gen 5 pop in about 5 seconds or right now.
yeah, I don't understand why we went for this. Uh, I mean, what's the thought here, Siren?
It's just to get another like 3 stages here, get a fresh hook, get potential 3 stages as Gen 5 does pop. I think this wasn't the right call for right now. I think after the Gen pops, that's when you decide to play for your fresh hooks and play for stages. Right now, I think they just conceded, okay, we're going to lose this. Uh, and unfortunately, because of that mentality, they are playing for 6 stages right now as Paparazzi's going to eat the down here for our Claudette. We do get the tag with UVX. Just need to get the body block, and good body block right there by Paparazzi, who's going to prevent them. Oh, able to get the shot over the
Oh,
top here. So,
wow, that was a no look.
no, very good shot right there. But now they force a pickup situation where we will, in fact, see Unknown grab. So Dub will secure at least one more fresh here. So should be seeing Paparazzi crawl, and then Nikki will go for this pull in a second here. If Dub is smart, they'll just play in front of the hook and not let the trade come so that it becomes an 8-stage game here, more than likely.
Yeah, this is tilted. It looked like it was going one way and went back the other.
Yeah, we do need to just kind of wait and see what Nikki decides to do. They are picking up, I believe, Paparazzi. I think I just saw the back end of Paparazzi right there in there. Oh, nope, not even. As they are on the edge map here.
Paparazzi coming back up.
Man, all lays on Nikki's shoulders right now. Unfortunately, the body block wasn't enough there by Paparazzi, and they allowed for them to get a nice shot off.
Yeah, Dub is really playing it close here, making sure and securing this.
You know, we just need to see what Nikki opts to do here.
This is going to be difficult. Timing is at the essence here, as the entity needs to eat, and the survivors can only stay so long on hook here.
Yeah, but I think this is the right call here. And we do get the second stage right there from them. They're opting to look around. Dub not able to find them. Need to get the pickup right now. I think someone...
Paparazzi's up right now.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit of complications here as we're able to get right on top of this. This is when Paparazzi should have, in fact, gotten that, but I think they're just going to play for the 2 out now at this point in time. Yep. So the worst kind of came...